Good morning. Again, here we are at the campsite. I've had a few people ask me how I set up my mobile Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, but mobile independent cell service camera system, security system, which is wireless via Wyze cameras. The Wyze cameras are chargeable. I'm sure there's some other companies that have chargeable cameras that are dependent on a router system. I'm using a 100-watt Renogy panel on a pole. It comes down into a lawn box, believe it or not. The big gray box on the side is 110 volts with a GFI off of a power inverter that I have inside of the box also. And it's a 12 volt system, and everything's running 12 volts, and like I said, it's independent of Wi-Fi, but you have to have cell service. And I'm running service off of a spare phone I have, running a hotspot through Metro PCS, and I've used this system for well over a year. It works perfect. The system I had with one battery lasted about maybe a month without depleting everything. I had a different 12 volt basically USB LED car adapter that ran everything off the car adapter via car plugs, and I've eliminated that and put in a new bus box 12 volt, which is here, to run this system. And I'm thinking that this will help the electrical consumption and will make this last longer. I've also put in another 12 volt battery. Both of these 12 volt batteries were sitting around. One of them is a deep cell, one of them's not. One's a Exide car battery. The other one is called a basement watchdog that I had sitting around from a well pump. One's 100 amp hour, and looks like the other one, I'm not quite sure how many amp hours this non-deep cell battery is. I've got these big connectors here that go to the inverter when I want to use the inverter, and that turns on independently. You push a button on it to start it up, which is over here when I need it, and it also has USB on it, but that actually consumes quite a bit of electricity. So I'll go through the system one thing at a time so you see what's happening here. The first thing I have is I have a cell phone. Okay, the cell phone has hotspot on it. This is an LG V20, which has been discontinued because LG no longer sells cell phones. And I'm running the hotspot on the cell phone. And that, of course, is set up and connected to this router. The router is 12 volts. And it's a WN 2500 RP router. And I have that set up. I cut the plug off of that and adapted the plug and connected the plug into this circuit board that I bought off of Amazon. Okay, that's the latest. Now I also have this base station, which is a Wyze base station. It's got a blue light on, which is constantly on now, so it's telling me it's connected to the internet via cell service. Okay, so I have that, and of course my phone just fell down in the box, which is fine. That base station is also connected to this 12 volt hub, basically, if you want to call it that, or circuit board, and that's getting power off of that. Now I have the Wyze camera. The Wyze camera is chargeable via USB. These last around 30 days depending on use, and that actually has a card in it too, so you can use the card for backup, and the base station has a card, and you can use that base station as backup. Now this whole system is running off these 2 batteries, and like I said, everything is connected in here. Kind of haphazardly now because I'm not done with it. I just want to get this thing up here so you guys can see what's happening. But like I said, it's a 12-volt system. It's running through the cell phone via a hotspot on the cell phone. I have the cell phone set up so it never shuts off. It's charged continuously through the solar array through this 12-volt setup, and that is actually connected with a USB. And I've eliminated the LED on this to conserve more power, but like I said, this is set up through a 12-volt car plug, which goes to the cell phone, sits in this box, the Wyze base station, which is 12 volts, the Netgear router, which is 12 volts, and of course the USB camera. And I've had 4 cameras running off this system at once, and I can log into this system anywhere I have cell phone service. Basically anywhere I want in the world. I've had cell phone service. I'm able to log into the system, and I do get the remote notifications if someone comes in the yard. Someone comes near the camper, the notifications come on this, and that's basically my setup. I believe you can run, I'm not sure what other companies have, chargeable cameras via USB or remote cameras that are chargeable. The Wyze cameras say they can go up to about 300 feet, which is not true. It's basically about 100 feet, maybe 150 feet for good signal. And like I said, I've had used 4 cameras at once on the system. I don't subscribe to Wyze. My other property, I have Nest cameras. Nest cameras have to be plugged in, unfortunately, the ones I have on my other property, and they consume quite a bit of bandwidth. Oh yeah, the bandwidth. The bandwidth on my cell down here in the box, I get 15 gigabytes of hotspot, and when I had the 4 cameras set up to this, I used maybe half a gig in a 1-month period running this whole setup. But like I said, I was not constantly connected to it live. It's a live stream. I was just getting the notifications, and it was animals walking by and stuff like that. But it's set up, I have one set up on my driveway down on a pole, and like I said, I have the other one set up around the property, and just to give me remote view of anything else that's happening. So anyway, that's the setup here, and if that can help someone, I hope it does, because I did look on YouTube and I have never seen anything set up quite like this. And like I said, this remote box I have set up can basically put anywhere. You can put it anywhere as long as you have a solar array to charge it, and cell service. You need cell service. They do sell different cameras that you have to subscribe to monthly from different cell providers. This is the setup I have, and it works pretty good. All right, if that helps anybody, that would be great. All right.